Have you ever been trapped in a stuck elevator with five strangers when suddenly the lights go out? In that first second, everyone panics. Some scream, some cry, others just sit there trembling. But notice, usually there's one person who suddenly speaks with a calm but firm voice. Everyone stay calm, don't move too much so we don't waste oxygen. You, try the emergency button. You, help me pry this door open. Boom. Instantly, that person becomes the leader. No one elected them, no one checked their degree, and no one even knows who they are. Why do we obey? Because biologically, the human brain absolutely hates uncertainty or chaos. When things go haywire, our logic automatically looks for an anchor, someone who looks like they have a plan. Welcome to Arc Power Play. In this first episode, we won't be discussing boring, high-level politics. We're going to talk about you as an individual and how to master the crowd when the world around you is falling apart. There are 5 protocols or leadership styles that humans have practiced for thousands of years. Understand these, or you will forever be just a spectator in the midst of someone else's chaos. Let's break down the logic one by one. 1. Autocratic, the iron hand. We start with the oldest and most honest style, autocratic. If you use this style, your logic is, I know what's best, you just do it. There's no room for discussion, no suggestion box, only instructions. In chaotic situations that require split-second decisions, like when a ship is sinking, this style is a lifesaver. Imagine if the ship was going down, but the captain was still asking, what do you guys think? Should we use the red lifeboats or the blue ones? Everyone would be dead by then. The biological mechanism is simple. This authoritarian style provides an instant illusion of safety. A confused crowd needs a dominant father or mother figure. The advantage? Light speed execution. The downside? You'll be hated if you fail, and your subordinates will stop thinking because they've become mere robots. But in pure chaos, sometimes one pair of focused eyes is better than 1,000 panicking heads. 2. Democratic, the town hall. 180 degrees in the opposite direction, we have the democratic style. The logic is, we all have a stake here. Let's decide together. The leader here acts as a moderator. They don't make decisions alone. They gather aspirations and seek consensus. In long-term chaotic situations, for instance, if your office is facing a financial crisis, this style is incredibly powerful for maintaining morale. Psychologically, humans are more willing to suffer if they feel involved in the decision-making process. We're going to take a pay cut, but this is our collective agreement so that no one gets laid off. The sense of fairness is achieved. But be careful. In the middle of chaos that requires fast movement, this democratic style can be a disaster. You'll get trapped in endless meetings, debates fueled by egos, and eventually the problem will have already spiraled out of control. Democracy is great for the happiness of the masses, but often terrible for the speed of the system. 3. Laissez-Faire, the hands-off. The name of this third style is the hardest to pronounce, laissez-faire. In simple terms, it's up to you. I trust your expertise. The leader here only provides resources and high-level targets, then sits back in the corner with a cup of coffee. The logic is absolute autonomy. This style will be immensely successful if the crowd you lead is a group of geniuses or experts who already know exactly what to do. For example, you're leading a team of specialist doctors in an emergency surgery room. You don't need to teach them how to hold a scalpel, you just make sure the tools are there and let them perform. The horror starts when this style is applied to an incompetent or totally panicked crowd. Laissez-faire will turn into anarchy. Without direction, people will crash into each other. This style is the ultimate test for a group's maturity. If you use this style and succeed, congratulations, you have a dream team. If it fails, well, you're just a lazy boss with no sense of responsibility. 4. Transactional, the reward and punishment. This fourth style is the one we most often encounter in the corporate world, transactional. The logic is pure business. You get paid, you work. You mess up, you get penalized. This leadership is based on clear agreements or transactions set at the beginning. In chaotic situations, this style provides certainty through incentives. When your team is stressed out by year-end targets, you say, whoever finishes this report tonight gets tomorrow off and a $2,000 bonus. Suddenly, their fatigue vanishes. The logic is to exploit basic human instincts to seek gain and avoid loss. This mechanism is very stable because the rules are clear. You don't need charisma, you just need a budget. But the problem is, loyalty bought through transactions is very fragile. The moment someone else offers a bigger transaction, your crowd will switch sides without a second thought. Transactional leadership is effective for managing people's hands, but almost impossible for managing their hearts. 5. Transformational, the soul changer. Finally, the highest tier in the power play. Transformational. This type of leader doesn't just manage tasks, they change the way people think. The logic is no longer about what we get, but who we are and what our great mission is. In the midst of chaos, a transformational leader is a lighthouse. When everyone is in despair, they arrive not with money or orders, but with a vision. They make the crowd believe that current suffering is a bridge to future glory. Great world figures who can move millions usually use this style. Biologically, this style stimulates oxytocin and dopamine simultaneously. People feel they have a purpose in life. But there's a dark side. This style is very close to manipulation. If the vision turns out to be fake, you're no longer a leader, you're a cult leader. Transformational is the hardest style to learn because it requires empathy, God-tier communication, and integrity that looks real, or at least very good acting. So, of these 5 styles, which one is the correct way to master the crowd in chaos? According to synoptic logic, none of them is the correct one. Truly genius leaders are those who can shift styles like a car's transmission depending on the terrain they face. When the elevator is stuck and people are screaming, acute chaos, you must be autocratic. Don't ask for opinions, give orders. Once everyone is calm and waiting for help, stable chaos, you shift to democratic. Talk to them to lower their stress. If one person happens to be an elevator technician, the expert, you use the laissez-faire style for them. Let them work, don't interfere. Thank you for watching until the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them make more sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they're explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.